Well, by the way, this next young fellow we have coming out here may not be so beautiful. Come to think of it, he may not be so young either. But he's a great entertainer, and I'm sure you're going to enjoy him just a whole lot. So how about a great big rousing welcome for Grandpa Jones?
Thank you very much. You know, Ernest, to look at him, you wouldn't think he is one of the finest English students in the country, but I used to live down where he is at, and his teacher was so proud of him that every time that somebody'd come in to visit the school, why they'd get his class up in front of the little school and start asking them questions. Well, I went over there one day and I sat down in the back of the school there, and of course the teacher got his class up right away and started asking them English questions. Come to Ernest, said, "Ernest, get up there and tell us the difference between prose and poetry." Well, Ernest didn't know, and it sort of embarrassed the teacher. And she says, "Well, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll write some on the board. I'll write some prose, and then I'll write some poetry." So she wrote, "There was an old woman that lived on a hill, and last week she moved to town." She says, "That's prose because it doesn't rhyme." And then she wrote, "There was an old woman lived on a hill, and if she's not dead, she's a-living there still." She says, "That's poetry because it does rhyme." Ernest says, "I understand that all right." So the next morning she thought she'd catch him on it. She says, "Ernest, get up there and tell us the difference between prose and poetry this morning." Ernest jumped up and he said, "There was an old woman that lived by the well, and when she died, she went to, what do you want, prose or poetry?" Stranger, how do you do? There's something I'd like to say to you. Now, don't be surprised. You recognize I'm no detective, but I've just surmised that you're from the place where I long to be. Your smiling face seems to say to me you're from my homeland, sunny homeland. Now tell me, can it be that you from Dixie? I said from Dixie, where the fields of cotton beg to me. I'm glad to see you. Tell me how be you and the friends I'm longing to see. Are you from Alabama, Tennessee, or Maryland? Any place below the Mason-Dixon line? Are you from Dixie? I said from Dixie, 'cause I'm from Dixie. Well, it was way back in '89. I crossed that old Mason-Dixon line. Now, gee, but I've yearned long to return to that old place that I left behind. Well, my home is way down in Alabama on an old plantation near Birmingham. But there's one thing certain, I'm always flirting with those southbound trains that run to Dixie. I said to Dixie, where the fields of cotton beg to me. I'm glad to see you. Tell me how be you and the friends I'm longing to see. Are you from Alabama, Tennessee, or Maryland? Any place below the Mason-Dixon line? Are you from Dixie? I said from Dixie. Oh, I'm from Dixie.
Grandpa Jones, prose or poetry? I don't know. That young man just won't do, I'll tell you for sure.